Governor Eddie Baza Calvo. Governor, school is starting up Monday, a few days from now. In the news tonight, busing situation still there. Basically, you said you'll step in when you need to. I know about 2 weeks ago you said you're hesitant in proclaiming an emergency because we've known about this. Where are we at with that and the opening of the school?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me give a congratulations and a shout out for John Fernandez. Here's a local boy. We feel very good about his hiring. So far in there, he's been up to the task, and he has had numerous meetings with myself and our administration, and we do believe that that with him on board, working collaboratively with the board and with our administration, good things are going to happen. And if you allow me, just to do another congratulatory shout out to our GovGuam workers, the whole bunch of them. Spent the past couple of weekends at the different schools volunteering their services to get these schools in line. That being said, these are some of the concerns that we had many months ago when I sent the letter for request to Tony Babauta in regards to funding the school buses. And we saw the situation with a shortage in buses. Joanne Brown was also very clear to the legislature on our concerns about the busing situation. Well, we do believe that Mr. Babauta will be looking, and we're hopeful that he'll look at this situation that we're in right now and allow us some flexibility to use some of these funds that were originally pegged that we had requested for to be used for busing. But I do have concerns about these emergency declarations. To forgo the procurement process, potentially it's dangerous. And is it, when you call it an emergency, sometimes, this was something that did not just appear overnight. We saw it ongoing. We saw it from miles away, the train coming. But for whatever reason, it ended up where we're at today. And I'm positive and I'm hopeful that we can work with the Department of Education, with the Interior Department, as well as with the legislature in finding ways to deal with the issues, not only in proper resources for the schools, but also school buses as well.
Yeah, actually, your wife is she's out there with the bus stops as well. She's out there.
That's, to me, that's a fringe benefit that everyone here saw when I was running for office what we were all about, our blueprint 2020, what we intended to do when we got into office. But the little known secret that we had was Christine Calvo, and when my wife came in, she wanted to do something that she felt comfortable with. And when you raise 6 kids, you're comfortable with children. And my wife has seized this opportunity, started a foundation called Regalu, and is focusing in all ways to assist our young people, particularly those that are most in need. Some of these kids that are in the Ali shelter, that don't have any parents, nor foster parents, foster kids, as well as some of many of our economically indigent families and the children that they have. She's been buying buying shoes, buying uniforms, supplies, building concrete school bus shelters around the island. And she's going to continue to look for ways to assist our future, and that's the young kids of this island.
And likewise, you've been working with I guess, the corporate community as well, private citizens, in adopting schools alongside government employees who've been cleaning up the schools.
There's been so many businesses that have come to our assistance. It was an appeal to everyone, and it wasn't just our GovGuam workers, the classified workers, but some of the unclassified workers. And I want to hand it to our Republican senators. Our Republican senators and those Republicans that are running for the legislature, they came out. And I hate to say it shouldn't have been politics, because I was asking for everyone's help. But those Republicans came to the table, and they've been going to the schools, and they've been helping out, together with many of those businesses out there that are already contributing in providing services to the people of Guam, employing and hiring people, but also volunteering to assist in the fix-up of our schools.
Governor, actually, a couple weeks ago, you went out there in support of. I know you know there were critical things here. You said I can't go, but then the GNOC, the Guam National Olympic Committee, said, hey, look, governors in the past have gone. We need you to be there with our athletes in support of their endeavors in London. So you went to London, supported our athletes. What did you bring back from London and what you learned there and with our athletes and athletes as well?
Well, it's against all odds, but yet you go out there, you go in the spirit of competition as an individual, competing against countries with hundreds of millions of people, but here you are. It's a contest in the world stage with an individual that is giving their all, but they're also representing our community, and that was important for me. When these Guam athletes took that walk around the stadium in the opening ceremony, there was me and my wife with our flags waving them. And I kept on pointing to them. I wanted them to see that this island was behind them 100%, including their highest elected representative, which is the governor of Guam. It was important for us to show our commitment to those athletes, but also we have to take these opportunities. Guam, we're an unincorporated territory of the United States. As we move in a direction of political maturity and having an equal status with other American citizens, those that live in the States, we have to take these opportunities where we are at an eye-to-eye level with the other nations of the world as well. And one thing about being an unincorporated territory, it has its disadvantages where we don't have representation in a Congress or can vote for a president, but at least in certain areas, such as the Olympics, we are at the same level as any other people in any other nation in this world. That's important.
Governor, you had the opportunity to read the civil. The three folks, commissioners who had written to the president in regards to inquiring Eric Holder, the Attorney General, to look on the supposedly racist, supposedly plebiscite that Guam is going to have.
Just anyone who's lived in Guam, and even for folks that have been here for a short time, they see how multi-ethnic this community is. It's a small island, and within this small island, there's every race in the world here. And if there was any other community in the United States where it shows racial tolerance, it's Guam. I think we are the most welcoming people in not only the United States, but in the world. I find it an irony that these lawsuits, and in fact, if you read some of the columns made by the individual who's launched these lawsuits, he's made statements about if there's a criminal activity in Guam, well, it's cultural. It's cultural in our people. I sense a racial tinge, a racist tinge in the individual that has filed these lawsuits. So I really place no credence because if you look at those that are causing these and allowing for these investigations, stirring the pot, it's you say one finger pointed one way while there's three fingers pointing back. So some of those that are instigating this, I do believe are the racist. It's important to remember whether it's in a plebiscite or it's in issues such as Chamorro Land Trust, this is not based on ethnicity. It's based on a lot of it dealing with treaty, with also with a situation that occurred in 1950 where we became American citizens, and the descendants, when this occurred, again, it was a unilateral decision that was made by administering body. So there are folks that have Chamorro, Chinese, Filipino, Japanese,
what have you?
Caucasian.
That's right.
They have this.
That's right.
This ethnicity and this blood that flows within their veins. It's based on a certain time and a certain event that occurred, and for those that are either that were at that Guam at that time or their descendants, it applies.
There we go.
So this is, again, I find it, again, a bit of an irony that, that the charges of racism is coming to a people that we do not have any type of racial, how would you say, the issues of the KKK type of attitudes you don't see in our people.
Yeah. We'll be right back. Hey, when we come back, Governor, we'll talk about this upcoming election. Be right back.